Well, the recession hasn't spared many, including higher education. In the past year, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology's endowments fell 21%. How's the university adjusting to the current environment and perhaps rethinking strategies? Well, Susan Hockfield, MIT's president, is here with us live now in studio. Welcome. We just read that 21% drop, but that's actually, you fared better than some of your prestigious peers. What are you changing now, though, to staunch some of these losses or position yourself for gains?
We like to think of it as having done less badly, perhaps.
Right.
And there's no joy in the great declines in all endowments, and everyone has to adjust to a new reality where our endowments, for several years will be channeling less money to the university. We started a process in the fall involving a lot of communication, but also getting a lot of input from our entire community about how we might make MIT stronger even while we reduced our expenses. And we asked the community for about $50 million in central budget cuts last year, and they delivered $58 million. And we think we can complete the budget reductions in a single year. But we're doing that both, obviously, unit-based reductions, but also systemic reductions. Based on recommendations that came from the entire community, we had an online idea bank, kind of an online meeting place for ideas to be brought forward and discussed. And we have a task force of about 200 faculty, students, and staff that was broken into 9 working groups that looked at everything we do at MIT and designed ways to do it better, more efficiently, and more effectively.
Now, when you look at the investments that you're making right now, obviously allocation's a question there, but what about methodologies? Is there a change in the methodologies you'll even entertain to apply here, away from the quant method perhaps, or more active management, or perhaps more in private equity? What has changed specifically?
Well, I don't know that there's been any really large-scale change in our investment strategy.
Okay.
This is a model that has worked very well over very many years, and of course we're always modifying it with respect to current conditions and current events, but most of, virtually all of our endowment is managed by outside managers. We don't manage the money ourselves in our investment office. And the investment office does, I would say, a very good job in choosing managers that will be solid performers in the very long term.
And those managers aren't changing?
By and large, not. We're always looking for, good managers and, swapping less good for better managers. But in general, it's a long-term investment strategy.
Now, tuition costs are also going up about 4% this year. Are you doing anything in terms of expanding the number of students brought in, or where they are coming from in any way?
MIT has had very aggressive financial aid policies for probably 40 years. We practice need-blind admissions and need-based aid. And while tuition has gone up on average about 4% over the last decade, financial aid has gone up over 9% over the last decade. So if you look at net tuition, so, on average, net tuition has actually declined over the last 10 years. Nevertheless, we're trying very hard to control tuition increases, but we also are being very, very conscious of increasing financial aid even in a time of economic difficulty, because that's the way we bring the most talented, most brilliant students to MIT without paying attention to their ability to pay.
Are there more students, though? Are you expanding the number of those admitted?
We're under discussions about whether we should go back to our 4,500 student population, undergraduate student population that we had about 10 years ago. Our graduate student population has increased over the last 10 years. It's about 6,000 graduate students and about 4,200 undergraduates right now.
That question is so key to the broader conversation about the future of American technology and innovation, which we've heard so much about on the policy front. Craig Barrett, former chairman of Intel, has been very critical of the U.S. educational system, saying there are not enough American-born engineers, not enough American-trained engineers right now. Said South Korea has many engineers as the U.S. does.
Yeah, I worry about this.
Is that changing?
Well, it's not changing fast enough. Nationally, if you look at the percentage of the bachelor's degrees in the United States that are awarded in the natural sciences or engineering, it's 15%, 15%. In Korea and China, it's more, closer to 50% are beyond. At MIT, of course, it's a little different. 85% of our undergraduate degrees are in science and engineering, and because nationally there is such a call, and I think an appropriate call, for more science and engineering trained students, trained graduates, we would like to increase the number of graduates from MIT because so many of them do become science engineers.
About the new economy and the need to create a green energy industry and innovation, culture of innovation, Does that mean anything to you? Does it affect how you are going to educate your students, or perhaps funding from the U.S. government? I mean, is there any corollary?
Well, MIT has played a very important role in what you refer to the innovation pipeline, and it's educating students so they can be the entrepreneurs and the innovators. I talk about MIT producing innovations and innovators. We spin out a lot of companies from MIT directly. Our alumni have produced something on the order of 6,000 companies, currently existing companies, that put $2.2 trillion into the global economy each year.
And we need that. We need more of that. Thank you so much.